what you know now, Tom Pendergast, what would you do different?
What would I do different? Wow. I'd have more confidence in myself. That would be, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I do. If I went back to 18-year-old or 19-year-old me, I would turn around and say, the world's your oyster, go and get it. That's what I would do different. You mentioned earlier imposter syndrome. I suffered with that up till 5 or 6 years ago.
Really?
100%. Yeah.
I would never.
I get find out.
You're well known in the industry for what you do. Like you would, that's kind of set me back because you would be regarded as one of the leaders in your industry. Imposter wouldn't have come across. But then you just, again, back to what we've just had a discussion on, you don't know what's going on with people. Knowing what you know now, what would you do different as a person?
Wow. How long do we have here? We've got about 3 minutes.
You got 3 minutes to get
What would I do different as a person? Well, it's funny that this is something that Alex Hormozy has been talking about a lot lately. And it's a lesson that it's taken me a long time to learn. And this is, one of the beautiful things about entrepreneurship is that it does teach you a lot of lessons. But the biggest one to me was, learning how to smile through hardship. And when I was in the music business, I was, it was a struggle. I'll be very honest with you. Even though I had some pretty big successes in that industry, financially, it was always a struggle. Living in Manhattan throughout the 2000s, throughout the housing bubble, was not easy. And so, but I really let it affect my attitude, my mindset, and so I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned over the past 20 years is your mindset is the most important thing that you have to get control over, to be, to really get yourself to where you want to go and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, being in a bad mood does not help you get out of whatever problem you're in. It actually makes it worse. So, I've had to binge Tony Robbins for, months at a time on occasion just to get my head right around things. Right. Because there are always going to be problems thrown in your face.
Yeah.
And the question is, how are you going to deal with it? So I think just mindset is so important. And I know it sounds cheesy, but for me anyway, it's really been a game changer.
So knowing what you know now, Barry, what would you do different?
If I was to go back in time,
it can be business, it can be in your life. Just to go back in time in your life, knowing what now that you've got a bald head.
I think.
Here's your brother, by the way.
I think, for me, I have 4 children, and 3 of them have gone through the whole college process, and it's been great. I have 1 more to go. If I was to go back in time myself, I would have stayed in college. I would have stayed in school, I think. I love the fact that I was out working at a young age.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that I probably did it the hard way.
Yeah.
And where would I be now if I was educated, and maybe I would have got into some of these processes a lot earlier? I don't know. But as a person, I think the construction industry has been very good for me.
Yeah.
I've become a reasonably good communicator with people. Most of the time I feel confident in what I'm doing and what I'm speaking about. When you're going out for a pint at the weekend, it's kind of reflected there as well, that you can kind of hold your head up,
Knowing what you know now, Nick, what would you do different?
Yeah, it's a good one. A lot of the sort of early on in the career side of things is, take a chance on stuff, not crazy stuff, but there's opportunities fall in your lap, and some of them are pretty easy to turn away because you're busy, but I've got to visit some really interesting places by saying, I'll stick my hand up, I'll go and do that. And again, they've been some of the more interesting experiences.
Yeah, very good. In terms of yourself, something about yourself, Nick, that not many people would identify with or would know. What is it?
What is there? It's a real tough one. I'm a bit of a mad inventor at times. I've got all sorts of little projects on the go, but that's sort of nature of where I've come from, what I've done. Probably the only other one.
Give us an example of an invention then.
We've got some little self-locking gearboxes and things that we've developed. A little gearbox that you take the power input off it, it stops and locks up, and you have to destroy it to get it apart. We've got a few things like that, and a few sort of weird and wonderful building things that just, why not try it? I guess that we don't think like construction people, and that's the thing, we're engineers at heart, so we're always looking for a challenge.
It's a bit of a geeky space down in New Zealand in that little warehouse.
Yeah, and it's the older... I'm sure you have something similar in Ireland. We have the old number 8 wire attitude here because we're far away from everywhere. Farming number 8 wire used to be fixed to anything and everything.
Yeah, you can't wait.
For lack of a better idea, we make stuff work, which is a pro and a con because not many other people think like that. But probably Ireland's probably the closest place to that because you're similar sort of population and thoughts.
So knowing what you know now, what would you do different, Vinnie? And it doesn't have to be business related or whatever else. You know, given the stage of life you're at, knowing what you know now, what would you do different?
I'll tell you one of the biggest things, and I think most people will say this actually, is controlling my own finances. Started a business very young. There was some success, some failures. And every time there was a bit of success, I was young. I was 24, 25. I was like, right, let's go buy a nice car. Let's go on holiday, you know, that sort of thing. So I say to anyone that is starting a business, I suppose, is really, really control your own finances. Even if you're on a winning streak, it doesn't last, especially early days. And even if it does last, that's great, but you should really, really control your own finances.
Brilliant.
I think that's the biggest takeaway. I think if you have a business that is fantastic marketing, bringing in loads of leads, but spending loads of money and directors, and you've got another business that is just slowly ticking along, but they're really living under their means, that business is going to outlast them every single time.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Hello, gaffers. Hope you're enjoying the podcast. We love every one of the guests that we have, but in order to bring on more great guests, we'd love to build the channel with you. So hit the subscribe, hit the like button, and let's create a really great community where we bring in better and better guests for you to deliver great content and great pieces of information that you can take back into your business. Now, back to the podcast. Thank you.